Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Nice to be back with you after a few holidays. And Annette, good afternoon. You're first one up. And how are you? And okay, wait for a few more. Louise, how you doing? And Patricia, nice to have you on. And Nativity, Rosa, and Jim, and Nick from our staff, Karen, and Steph. How are you, Steph? Joss, Sturgeon, June, and Wendy from Markham, Rita, Annette, bonjour, Joanne and Lori from Ventura, California, Kelly, Jody, and IT from Mexico. Well, hello, Mexico. Faye, Denise, North Bay, Dennis, and Fran, Orangeville, +7, must be nice. Donna, nice to have you on. Laura, Catherine, from Newfoundland, June, and Cheryl, and Wanda. How are you, Wanda? Another Donna, and Rosemary from the Sioux. Yvette, how are you? Carol, Pennsylvania, Pat. Okay, guys, we appreciate you coming on. Colette, hope you're doing well. Yolande, I was waiting for you. Sorry. Good afternoon, Melody and Lucy. Couple more. Linda from Edmonton. Wendy from London, Ontario. Blair, hope you're having a great day. Lise and Diney. Okay, let me, and Francine Rochefort. Are we related? My grandmother was a Rochefort. And Lorraine and Julie from Oshawa. Right, Julie? Doreen, Scott. I hate to miss anybody. Okay, couple of, some of these are articles. Some of them are studies. I found them interesting. I flagged them. I'm going to start with this. This was an article that mentioned in 1943, and the article said this is a pandemic. Okay, let's talk about it. It caught my attention when they said another pandemic, but here's the article. In 1943, the average testosterone in men was 1,400. By 2013, it was averaging 400, down 1,000 points in testosterone. That's not a good thing, okay? Now, they didn't go into any detail at all in this study, in this article, with what are the reasons for low testosterone. But I'd like to give you a couple, okay? Because in the clinic, we used to measure testosterone, and I would agree with this statement about testosterone, that it is sinking like the Titanic in men. And I've mentioned this a lot of times, but I just say this on just as a by the way. By the way, men have more womanly hormone than their wives at the age of 50. Their wives' estrogen is going down, and men's estrogen is going up. Now, let me just make a couple of blanket statements. One, ladies, Your estrogen is always in proportion to your progesterone, okay? So it's very important you understand that. You know, because you get in your mind, I'm menopausal. Somebody asked me that question last week. I'm menopausal, therefore my estrogen is going down. Therefore, I wonder if I should be taking estrogen, either in a bioidentical or in a med. And my answer to that is, in my opinion, never. I never liked estrogen, even in a bioidentical, which is a bioidentical is a natural hormone replacement therapy. But I never liked estrogen in women, ever. I like progesterone, but not estrogen. As a matter of fact, when you have trouble with hormones, ladies, generally you have too much estrogen compared to your progesterone, even in menopause, okay? Now, let's get back to men, since we're talking about testosterone. A man's testosterone is going to be proportional to the amount of estrogen in a man. If you want to sink testosterone, which is, by the way, you know, because you hear about low T, and people have this idea, well, it's all about sex, okay? I said, get your mind out of the gutter. Because testosterone has a lot more to do with just your sexual drive. Men, testosterone is good for everything in a man, including his bones, his brain, his heart. Okay? You need testosterone. Ladies, you don't. You need a little bit. But ladies need balance, and men need high testosterone to keep that estrogen down. Now, let's talk a little bit about why are we, by the year 2013, now, you know, that's already 8 years ago, right? 9 years ago. Here we are. In 2013, that's the latest. Well, at least there may be even more recent research. I'm reading an article. This is an article, not so much a study. But I want to talk to you about why that happens. Why would that happen in men today compared to in the 1943, testosterone was at 1400, right where I like it. I used to tell men, like, if your testosterone's under 1,000, you're, you know, it's not baseball. Like, you can't settle for 300 batting average. In testosterone, you want to have a very, very high testosterone levels. The higher, the better for you. Okay? Like I said, it's not just your bones, your brain, your heart needs testosterone. Men are very low in T. Why? Couple of things, several things. I wrote down 10. Okay. No, seriously, like, the article didn't mention it, but I think it's important that we ask the question, why? Why are men so low in testosterone today? Well, one of them is because, obviously, their estrogen is through the roof. Now, how do men get high estrogen? Remember, what is estrogen? Estrogen makes a woman, and a man a woman too. Ladies, just a fact. You are going to have a higher fat percentage than a male. Or at least you should. You know? You got breast tissue. You got hips. It's normal. Estrogen. The more fat on the body, the higher the estrogen goes. And for men, that will sink the testosterone levels. It's the number one reason. And of course, we have all these two more ways when it comes to estrogen. One, every chemical in the universe, your body thinks, hey, that looks like estrogen to me. That's for men and women. Oh, look at that. It looks like estrogen. It's cleaners, air fresheners, chemicals that are in your home, plastics, fertilizers. They all look like estrogen, so the body sucks that up big time, men and women. Okay? So it's one of the reasons that testosterone. The other one is what we call phytoestrogens. One of the problems in our food supply is, you know what? The food supply loves, the food companies, they love soy. Okay? They love soy. And soy is one of the highest phytoestrogen. Now, I read the other day, I saw a list of flax seeds being a phytoestrogen. Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay? Yes, it's a phytoestrogen. There's a lot of estrogen in flaxseed. But, and you guys know the answer to this, but flax seeds have lignans, and lignans lower estrogen, and flax seeds have 100 times more lignans than any other seed or plant or whatever. So that is why, even on the reset, I allow you, if you're making a Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie, to put flaxseed, put a tablespoon of flaxseed. Men, you want to you want to increase your testosterone? Then take flaxseed. Take flaxseed. It will lower your estrogen and thus will elevate your testosterone. Okay? Here's another one. All your hormones, ladies and gentlemen, this is for you both. All your hormones need cholesterol. So what do? Well, don't lower your cholesterol. Don't listen to the gurus. Don't listen to dietitians. Don't listen to your doctor. I hate to say that, but don't. If they start talking about cholesterol and we want to get it lower, because you want to know why men have such low levels of testosterone? Because they don't have enough cholesterol. Now remember, it's not cholesterol that gives you heart disease. It's triglycerides. And the higher your HDL is, the better it is. They are the FedEx trucks, the Amazon trucks, the Canada Post trucks, whatever trucks that are on the highways of your blood vessels carrying your hormones. Guys, you can't even make hormones without cholesterol. That's why God don't trust you, okay? God doesn't trust you. He has to make 85% of your cholesterol because he doesn't trust you to eat it. Because people think, gee, look at that bacon. It got cholesterol, butter, cholesterol, eggs, cholesterol. You know, I had a former patient tell me the other day, "Oh, doc, I only eat 2 eggs a week." I said, "Why?" I said, "Do you like them?" "Oh," he said, "I love them, but my doctor..." I said, can I have an appointment? Can I go to the next appointment with your doctor when you go, so I can have a chat with them? You should have 50 eggs a week. Why are you limiting to 2? No wonder men have low testosterone. "Oh yeah, but I got low cholesterol." You want to die young? You want to die young? Then have low cholesterol. Here's another one. Absolutely essential for testosterone. Men, another reason that we have such low testosterone. We don't get Viderma. You need Viderma. You need vitamin D. Vitamin D is a precursor to your hormones. Vitamin D. And we don't get it. Extremely low in vitamin D levels. Most people are extremely low in it. And guess what? You're not going to make enough testosterone. Here's another vitamin that you need for testosterone. You probably didn't know this, but you're going to learn it right now. You need vitamin A for testosterone. Ladies, you need vitamin A. And you get vitamin A when you eat vitamin S, steak. I can't emphasize it enough. I got an email this afternoon, and I understand it. I understand it, so I never take those questions lightly, but someone said to me today, "Well, you already have cancer, so therefore you don't want too much like red meat, eggs, or whatever." No, guys. Cancer hates steak. Hates it. Hates vitamin D. Hates vitamin A. Cancer hates that stuff. But if you have low levels of vitamin A, how do you get vitamin A? Eggs, meat, and cheese. If you have low levels of vitamin A, men, you need vitamin A for testosterone. You do. Okay? And sorry, you don't get vitamin A from carrots. Okay? You don't. That's beta-carotene. I'm not saying it's bad, but you're not making testosterone from beta-carotene. You need vitamin A. Here's a big problem with men and low levels of testosterone. Okay? Here's another big, huge problemo. You know what it is? Fatty liver. Fatty liver. Because the vast majority of your testosterone, the ones that are going to carry it, are going to be made in the liver. You get fatty liver, you're going to have trouble hitting your goals for testosterone. Fatty liver, you got to empty that liver out. It's one of the reasons that we talk about the reset so much. Vitamin A, we talked about zinc. Again, another reason. You know what? You want to get a good immune system. See, look, and again, I'm coming back to that question on cancer. And I get it. I'm so patient because I want you to win. But you see, vitamin A fights cancer. Vitamin D fights cancer. Zinc fights cancer. I don't even want you to take them as supplements. Now, vitamin D, you're not going to be in the sun, but I want you to eat I want you to eat vitamin S so that you get vitamin A and you get your zinc. Eggs, meat, and cheese give you zinc, okay? Zinc. It's not in the plant kingdom. I'm sorry. I wish it was so I could tell you it's, but it's not. It's not. Okay? Now, fatty liver. Be very careful. It'll sink your testosterone. Here's one, depression. Depression. And this is really, now, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does the depression come first? Or does the low T come first? You see, men, I told you, you need testosterone. Your brain needs it. You need it for a good mood. The higher your testosterone. And another reason too, by the way, depression, we talked about that. I talk about leaky gut, the malabsorption syndrome. When you don't have enough good microbiome. Again, this is so important for absorption of your nutrients that help, cofactors that help to make your testosterone. Really, really, really important. Now, let me say another thing. Okay? Why is it so prevalent today? Men over the age of 50, their testosterone is so stinking low. It's craziness. Here's another one. Medications. Medications. I'm telling you, when it comes to statin drugs, obviously, statin drugs work, okay? They will lower your cholesterol. Now, why on God's earth would you want to do that? That's another question. But they do work. You will lower your cholesterol with statin drugs. The problem is you're going to lower your testosterone too. And what is it now? Like 40-something% of men over the age of 50 years old are on a statin drug. A statin drug. I just, it bothers me that we can't talk nutrition. Every medical school should be taking 1,000 hours of nutrition. But it's sent to the wayside. Medications like high blood pressure pills, which again, what is it, 30-40% of the population of men are on high blood pressure medication. Antidepressants sink your testosterone. Acid reflux medication. You need even, it's important to lower the, to get, I'm not telling you to even get off the meds. I'm not going to do that because you're not my patient, but I'm telling you, got to look at all that stuff. Is there anything you can do to wean yourself off of some medication? One of the big problems too, like chemotherapy, and it makes sense, right? Just destroys your testosterone. Now, here's another reason I believe men are very low in testosterone. So I think I'm up to 11. Okay. They don't exercise enough. You see, vitamin E exercise, especially weightlifting, resistant exercises. Men, can I plead with you to get strong? Tony Jr. wrote an email the other day, and he talked about muscle mass being a vital sign. You know what? I agree with him 1,000,000% that they should actually make muscle mass a vital sign. And the problem is that, the vast majority of men And ladies, you need to have muscle too. You don't want to get osteoporosis, you need muscle. Muscle, strong muscle equals strong bones. It's just a fact. It's not calcium you need for your bones. You need muscle for bone. Stronger your muscle, the stronger your bones are. But men are not strong like they used to be. Of course, we live a sedentary lifestyle, right? Comparatively, to the 1940s, of course. Most men, but you got to make up for that in the gym or your home gym. It takes discipline. But I used to be able to get men to elevate their testosterone if they would listen to me and start working out. And again, the best is resistant exercises. It doesn't take long. It's not, I got to spend an hour of my time a day doing it. No, you don't. 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. That is the best recipe for success when it comes to exercise. It's the best. And resistant exercises are the best exercises. And they will elevate your testosterone. And for ladies, of course, you want to strengthen your muscles. Okay. I thought I was going to get to some more articles today, but it doesn't look like I am. But that one really hit me. Man, oh man. Average of 400 now, or at least in 2013, compared to 1943, where the average testosterone number was 1,400. Unbelievable. It is so dramatic. But, you're rarely going to hear it. It's not, it's not cancer. It's not whatever. But it's important for men. You need that for your quality of life. It's really important to elevate testosterone. Okay. I enjoyed that. That was fun. Okay, guys, look, tomorrow I'm off. Okay, so I'll post it. I'm off tomorrow. I got a couple of appointments and I can't work my schedule out. So tomorrow I'm off. Wednesday morning we'll be back in the saddle doing the Doctors In podcast and live. So Wednesday morning, 8:30, back in the saddle. Okay, so tomorrow tell everybody and we'll post it. I think Brandy's on holidays this week. Who gets holidays? I wonder if she's going to hear that. I'll get it. Okay, guys, we love you and we'll talk to you soon.